Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. Back out here on this Monte Fender for a little Monte Monday action. So we're gonna get this guy welded up. We've had some surface rust pop up over the last week, so I'm gonna clean it up real quick, and then we'll get the blowgun and we'll get the welder set up, and we'll start welding all this up. Okay, what I just welded up was that cut that we did that I started cutting there and then I changed my mind, so welded that up. Okay. I'll be right back. You know, there's probably still some more spots that we're gonna have to hit up there, but I think we got the majority of it. I'm gonna grab my old school cutoff wheel setup that I normally have a bundle of cutoff wheels on, and we use them as a grinding stone wheel. I'm gonna grab that, and then I'm gonna grab my bag of used things and my cutters, and I'm gonna start cutting. You know, I have a bunch like this that we can, you know, cut down and clean up and reuse, so, instead of grabbing some new stuff. I don't know if I've ever showed it in recent videos or whatnot, but I have a giant bag full of used things. So instead of grabbing new ones, which I really like using new ones, but we can maybe burn through some old ones and save a couple bucks. So we'll be back, but we're getting there. We still got to do the whole bottom. We got some spot welds to do, but so far so good. Okay, I think we got that grinded down. Looks good. You know, we can get to both sides to protect both sides, so I'm not really super worried. Down here, we'll probably have to be a little careful. I don't think that we really missed anything. Maybe there's a little spot right there. You know, I tried to go through and get any pinholes. Alright. Okay, I seen that I did not weld this lower section up, so got that welded up. There was a little pinhole over here. I think I got that. Okay, I gotta shut off there for a second. So I finished cleaning up, you know, this top section. There was some paint there. Just got that cleaned up. And before I weld up this bottom, and there's a reason why I didn't weld up the bottom with the rest, and that's because I think, well, I know now, I think that, you know, we made this thing, and you know, we had to indent all this in here, and get this all, you know, taken care of inside here. That this, I can see just by looking at it that this line right here, where the imaginary door is, because we don't have a door there at the moment, so it's imaginary. It just doesn't look right to me. It looks off. So I kept this template. And I kept it for a reason. And I kept it for this reason. So we have passenger side over here. We have driver side over here. I went and I held it on the passenger side just to double check, make sure that our stencil was correct. And it is. It lines up perfect with the passenger side. But if we hold this up here to our driver's side, look at how much that metal sticks out here. So it's wrong. It's not right. It's not even close to being right. Our patch that we put in here is right. This inner piece that we put in is wrong. So I knew that this was going to be an issue. I knew that it was going to be a problem. You know, and originally I said, we'll take care of whatever we need to when the door gets here. You know, that I was going to get a body worked out and primed and whatnot. But we have a template here to kind of go off of. So what we need to do, what I'm hoping and thinking that we can do here, you know, cut our tacks that we have here, cut with the whiz wheel, open this gap back up, hammer this over, close the gap, run a whiz wheel through it again, open the gap back up, hammer this over, close up that gap, cut it again, hammer it over, close up the gap, so on and so on and so on until we match up with this. So I think our next step is take this fender back off and take it over to the table. It's either take the fender off and take it over to the table, or take the door off. both of which I really I don't think it matters which one I take off. Maybe it would be easier to take the door off. Then that way the fender is stationary. You know what I mean? Then it's kind of, because it's all bolted down here. It's not going anywhere. We take it over to the table, and we're kind of at the mercy of the fender, flopping around and moving around everywhere. Maybe we'll pull this door. So if that's the case, I'm gonna need Colleen's help for that. But hopefully we can get this all cleaned up and straightened back out. I just think it needs I think we need to remove some metal and hammer it back over so that it matches. All right, break time, lunchtime, whatnot. I'll go see what Colleen's doing, see if she's got time to help me pull this door off. So I'll see you guys back here in a bit. Okay, I'm back out here. Colleen came and helped me pull the door. I didn't video it because it was pouring rain out, and we are hot tin rough here, so you couldn't hear yourself think, let alone be able to video. So we're gonna start cutting this open and hammering this over until we get it to match this. So I'm gonna mark this with a marker as well. I'm gonna grab that. Pull this hinge. Okay, so I think what we need to do is, put a tack, hammer over, tack, hammer over, tack, hammer over. So I think we're right there. Let me get the welder fired back up. I kind of cleaned up and put everything away when we removed that door. Man, what a pain in the butt. Like, I was just trying to weld in those two spot welds there, and yeah, that was not wanting to work. I was just wanting to, I know what was going on. So, this edge we put in the shrinker, and we shrank the crap out of this edge, and it just kind of disformed the metal in here, and trying to weld it, and Made it thinner, I guess. It's not the prettiest, but we can clean that up. And clean that up with some welding and some filler. But I think we are a lot closer now than we were. So. Okay, you guys are still on. Well, we got that welded up, and you can see, like right in here, I added some extra welds, and that was to kind of clean up that edge a little bit and give us something to be able to grind and clean up and give us a nice clean edge there. So I'm gonna change your battery out, and we'll be back to let's grind up this edge and clean it up and make it look like a Fender again. Okay, let's see if we can get this cleaned up to where I'm happy with it. I did, after I switched your battery, it looked like it was coming down and it swooped out and then went back down. So I cut this a little bit, hammered it over and welded that up. And it looks like down along this edge of the rocker needs to be cleaned up a little too. I can't get to it with the fender on, so. Welded up one of the screw holes there for the chrome trim that went around here. We're not putting chrome trim back on. Okay, so you see here we haven't haven't quite finished this inside yet, so. I think this thing's done, and it came out really good. I mean, we had a, we had a little bit of an issue there, but I think we were able to get that cleaned up. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm happy with that. So now it's time to move up here and get this welded up. Hopefully be able to get this welded up. I say that because when I turned on the welder this morning, normally when I turn on the bottle, you can kind of hear it charge the system, and I didn't hear that, and that usually means that I'm just about out of gas. So I checked the gauges, and the gauges are on 0, and we've been welding. We welded up that whole back piece with it on 0. So let's I'm gonna take a quick break, go refill my coffee, and we'll be back to start welding this stuff up here. So stay tuned. So I'm in the house, filled up my coffee. Colleen says I got a bit of a sunburn, so always wear your welding mask. It's a little harder to weld this when every time you squeeze the trigger, the wire pushes the fender away. So when I start running low on gas, my welder starts welding like crap. And it's just burning holes in this metal. I just turned it down. Let's hope it helps. All right, I think I think that's it for tonight. It's 10 o'clock right now. I did want to finish getting this welded up, but this welder's just welding horribly at the moment. So, and I don't want to. It's after 10 o'clock. I don't want to grind all this, especially on a Monday. So I think we did pretty good. We got that backside done. You know, we got that dog leg fixed, which was kind of expected, kind of unexpected. You know, I had said in last week's video that, you know, there may be some adjustments that would have to be made once we got the door in. But, you know, today I took a look with that stencil that we had made, and we seen how far it was off, so we were able to make some corrections. And now hopefully when we get the doors, hopefully we'll be okay now. But I think we got that cleaned up. We got this welded up. You know, there may still be some work on it once we get this grinded up. That was a fat line to weld up there. That was the size of our whiz wheel, so that was a big gap. But we got a little farther on this. I was hoping to get all this done today, but I think we're running out of welding gas. So another thing is I need to, for one, like this really screws with you when you're trying to weld, and then this here doesn't help either. So I need to. The last time I took this apart and tried to fix that, it was tight in there and still doing it. So I don't know. I need to see if I can do something to try and get that to stop doing that. But oh well. It's the end of the night for us, so I will see you in the next one. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Next week we'll get this finished up, or maybe I'll say this again, I'm horrible at doing this, but maybe we'll try and weld this up during the week and run out the gas. You know, maybe it'd be better if I take the fender off and I go take it over there to the table. Then we don't have to deal with this. Yeah. So, see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.